Come on in. Good morning.
You normally give us some gold stars on foul weather days.
Yes, you all get extra gold stars. Extra gold stars for everyone who's here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you all for being here. Make yourselves at home. This is not Photoshop. This is a picture from last year when it snowed. Yeah, almost a year ago today. A special welcome to those of you who are online on YouTube. So glad all of you are here. So we'll call to order this annual parish meeting for Trinity Episcopal Church. We should note it is our 185th annual meeting as a parish. Happy birthday, us. Let us pray. Almighty and ever-living God, ruler of all things in heaven and earth, hear our prayers for this parish family. Strengthen the faithful, arouse the careless, and restore the penitent. Grant us all things necessary for our common life, and bring us all to be of one heart and mind within your holy church, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. First things first, we would like to thank all of our Vestry members who are rolling off for the year that has passed. Laura Hughes, Maggie Kelso, Rick Swanson, and Gina Mascaro. I see Rick and Maggie. We also, y'all come on out, come on. We have something for you all. Yay. A small gift of gratitude from Trinity Church for all of your work. Thank you so much. Let's give a round of applause again. I know that, and of course it's cold and nasty out, but I wanted to just note that Maggie Kelso has served as our clerk for the last 2 years. Thank you, Maggie. Y'all should know that in the order of who's head of congregation, it goes rector, senior warden, junior warden, clerk. So Maggie, you were, yeah, right. Yes, right. But we made it. Next, we come to the election of new vestry members. Just a little bit about our process. Back in October, we start vestry informational meetings with our wardens, and the vestry forms a nominating committee. This is an opportunity for anyone in the parish who is interested in learning about the vestry and its ministry, and also anyone who's interested in serving. We always have a number of folks who are interested in serving, which is fantastic. This year we have a slate of 4 slots. We've encouraged a few of the people who are interested to join vestry next year, and also to join other committees. Of course, we have vestry, but we also have our finance committee, our building committee, our outreach committee, and of course, our school board of trustees are all very important pieces of our ministry here. Is there a motion to nominate these 4 vestry members? Is there a second? All those in favor say aye or raise your hand. Any opposed? Thank you all. Laura Hughes, why don't you come on up? And Kelly, could you get... We have a gift for our senior warden who is rolling off. Right over there. Yeah. Thank you, Laura, for all of your hard work. She has a wonderful report in the annual report. Would you like to say anything, Laura? And say it.
Good morning. Good morning. I just made it here, so
thank you.
I'm glad my timing worked out. It was a pleasure to serve as senior warden. It was also an honor. You'll find the details of my report in the larger leaflet. And so I would suggest taking a look there. And I highlighted some key accomplishments that we did over the year. And so I'm sure many of you are familiar with some of them, like the doors of the church being restored and painted, and about the windows. But we also got a $1 million grant from the Moody Foundation. We were very excited about that, and we'll use that money to continue to make our church look beautiful, and so that it can serve our community for generations to come. I'll leave it at that. I'm sad that my time at the vestry is coming to a close, but I am happy that we have some wonderful people on the vestry, and I look forward to the future. Thank you.
In our governance, how this works is the vestry always meets on the 4th Tuesday of the month at 5:30 in the Kelso room. Please note that these meetings are public. Anyone is welcome to come and watch and observe. We have had parishioners in the past. I think it's great. Also, if you would ever like the minutes after a meeting, all you have to do is ask for the minutes from the clerk or one of the wardens or from the church office, and you can have them. Usually, there's nothing really, it might put you to sleep, but of course you all are welcome to do all of that. So how it works is I, as the rector, appoint the senior warden from among the members of the vestry. The junior warden is elected by the members of the vestry from among the members of the vestry, along with the clerk and the treasurer. So we will do all of that business ourselves at our vestry meeting this upcoming Tuesday. But I would like to announce that Olivia Meyer will be our senior warden for next year. I think Olivia is well known to us here at Trinity Church. She has been also such an aid and a comfort and a counselor to me. And I look forward to the year ahead. And I know that she will also do the same for the whole vestry and for Chase as well. Thank you, Olivia. Thank you. The other election that we have is delegates to diocesan council. Again, if anyone is ever interested in serving as a delegate to diocesan council, just ask, reach out. We'd love to have more representation across the parish. So this year, the folks who have expressed interest are Catherine Galindo, Mike Hughes, and John and Kathy Vandewally. Each parish in the Diocese of Texas is entitled to 4 voting lay delegates plus their clergy. In years past, the Reverend David Dearman has also represented us, yet he is now fully retired and is no longer representing Trinity Church at council, but that's all right. We have Chase in his stead. So thank you, Chase. Is there a nomination from the floor for these 4 delegates? Is there a second? Second. All those in favor say aye or raise your hand. Aye. Opposed? Thank you all. Council is in the Woodlands in February. Next year, it will be here in Galveston in February. And as in years past, I'm sure that we will have ushers and other folks who are helping with all of that. We have a financial report from Bill Danemeyer, who serves on our finance committee. You can also see that there is a printed version there in your annual report. If you did not get an annual report, I'll make sure you get one. Remember, sharing is caring.
I am not John Spike. He is the treasurer, and he had other matters he needed to attend to because he's on the peninsula. You probably all know that human beings do not have as one of their skills the ability to predict the future. Even the prophets got it wrong when they said when they returned to Jerusalem it would be streets of gold. Still isn't true. So it is amazing that we came within 5% last year on our budget, because I always use as a rule of thumb in prediction plus 10 minus 5. As between that range, it's just the error of the prediction. But we came in $51,000 over what we had predicted. That's because of your generosity. Unlike your subscription to Netflix, your generosity has to be specifically renewed every year with a renewal of pledges. So if you're a new member and have not pledged yet, it's easy to do. Talk to Jimmy or talk to Kathy, anyone in the office, and you can. When working with churches and nonprofits, the most sure method of honesty being verified is transparency. If they don't show you their books, they're probably hiding something. So, in that spirit, the Episcopal Church has rules that we follow. And among those rules are our books are open, our meetings of the Finance Committee, which are the third Tuesday, conveniently 1 week in front of the Vestry meeting, those meetings are also open. If you have a question about our budget or our results, you can talk to anyone on the Finance Committee like me, or you can talk to Jimmy, or you can talk to Gretchen, who is our, what's her official title, financial administrator, because the books are open and we're open to questions. And we do, like most humans, make mistakes sometimes. But this year we didn't. Looking at the numbers, does anybody have a question about the finances in this report? And I know you're just seeing these numbers for the first time, mostly. By the way, membership on the Finance Committee consists of showing up. So if you think that there's something that doesn't get its due in our budget, show up, make a case, be part of the Finance Committee. And on my first meeting, as I showed up and made a case and got my way on something, and that's just the way it works. This is an open community of colleagues. Does anybody have a question about the finance report? I believe that's it then, Jimmy.
Great, thank you all. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill. Yeah, it's and I'll talk a little bit too about finances. Just kind of going back to, I want to just make sure we do highlight one thing in this. You'll see that personnel costs are higher for 2026. Of course, Chase is with us for a full year this year, which yay, which represents obviously because he started July 1. And he'll be with us for the full 12 months this upcoming year. So a few things that I want to highlight. This is our gospel lesson for this Sunday, as Jesus calls Peter, Andrew, James, and John to follow him. And this has very much been on my mind as we think of the church not as the building, but as people. And there have been so many wonderful highlights this year of people. Y'all remember our Shrove Tuesday pancake supper, one of my favorites, when we burn the palms and have our pancake games. Of course, pancake limbo is always a favorite. We had a wonderful vacation Bible school, as you can see, as well as some great baptisms. There is a baptism there, Kelly, with your family, which I just love. Our Junior Daughters of the King is such an awesome organization. We have, I think, now 21 members of the Junior Daughters of the King. I think 20 of them were at Camp Allen last weekend for the diocesan retreat, which is fantastic. And again, your generosity is allowing all of that to happen. This is a picture of all of the Trinity Galveston kids who went to summer camp during my session. It really is so cool to see kids from Trinity Church and school together, all there at Camp Allen the same week, from primaries to middlers to J-High to senior high, all there together. Joseph Painter and our choir is continuing to just provide excellent music. I loved Evensong in December. I thought that was fantastic. They've done the great sacred choruses. What a huge gift to this Galveston community. One of my favorite pictures there of Christmas Eve, always one of the highlights of the year. And of course, bringing on Chase. Yay, Chase. This was his ordination at the cathedral in June, his ordination to the diaconate. One of the other big highlights this year is our outreach committee has really started focusing on not just providing money to other organizations, but providing hands-on service and outreach. Here are some members of our outreach committee serving lunch over at Access Care of Coastal Texas across the street. They do that lunch once a quarter on the 5th Thursday of the month. They are also now serving Tuesday lunch over at Galveston Central Church once a month. I'm right on that, right? Okay, I'm just trying to make sure they're all right. 4th Tuesday of the month. Yeah, so you can do that and then come to Vestry. It's amazing, right? So what I love about that too is that it's about people, not just about money. It's about our folks connecting and serving the community. Of course, here is one of our upcoming highlights. Just want to put this in front of your eyeballs one more time. Chase's ordination this upcoming Wednesday. This last year, we also focused a lot on our building project. As you can see, here are some of the highlights of that. Those 2 windows that had been removed were brought back in, and the other essentially 9.5 windows were taken out for restoration at the Willett Studios. There are some pictures in your annual report there of them actually working on it at the studio, which is so good to see. We worked on the doors, which required a lot of brick and mortar work, where some of the interior wall had just sort of deteriorated over the course of time. And you can see we took out that scary ramp on the north side of the church and installed some stairs there. As Laura highlighted, we have received a $1 million grant from the Moody Foundation for this restoration, in addition to the roughly $1.3 million that you all have raised from this congregation, which is really, truly astounding to me. On top of that, of course, we are in the midst of applying for our historic tax credits from the state of Texas. So because we are a national historic landmark, every dollar that we put into approved preservation work, we get a tax credit for about 20 to 25 cents, depending on what it can be sold at on the open market. So that's really good. So I want all of you to think that every dollar you give for the building campaign is really like $1.20, $1.25, and that adds up quickly, which is really wonderful. Just thinking about, again, finances, you can see here are the plate offerings over the past few years. I think this represents a lot of generosity among the people here. That in 2021, this is plate offerings. This is like non-pledged offerings, right? What people put in the plate, or just random other gifts that people give that are not pledged. $19,000 in 2021, and just around $106,000 in 2025. That's wow, right? That's incredible. Here is our pledged giving. You can see our pledge offerings in 2021 were $471,000. In 2025, they were $839,000, and we have $903,000 pledged for 2026. Again, I mean, that's y'all's generosity, right? Really, that is allowing this ministry continue to thrive. It also means that what we've been able to do is not rely too heavily on our endowment and on our other reserves. Y'all can see here that in the budget breakdown, the vast majority of the operating budget of the church comes from us, from you all, from me, from my family who makes a pledge, from your family who gives weekly, monthly, annually, whatever that may be. I think that really is an incredible sign that we are not dependent upon that endowment. That is allowing the endowment to grow. Last year at this meeting, of course, it was $1.7 million. We're now at $1.9 million. I like to say that some vestry in the future might really thank us today for our good stewardship, and that might very well be this vestry, right? Because as Bill said, we can never predict the future. So again, thank you all for your generosity that makes that possible. Does this pie chart make sense? And you can see all this later. I can always send it to you if you can't see from that far back. And then, like I said, here is our current endowment at $1.9 million that is held by and managed by the participating fund of the Diocese of Texas. Essentially, many churches across the diocese have endowments like ours, and it's easier for the diocese to manage them because then we get to pool all of our money together, which means that they have access to different market rates and whatnot. We can always, it's still our money, right? We just need to be clear. The money does not belong to the diocese, right? It's our money. We can always get it within 30 days, but it's really good that it's being managed by the Diocese of Texas. Yeah.
They also are making a really good return.
Thank you. Yeah. One of the really big transitions this year is, of course, Camille, our longtime finance director, has retired. Thank you, Camille. I don't see her out there, but she has been awesome. She has even come in to help Gretchen with all of this end of year reporting that you see in front of you. So thanks to Camille for all of that. Here are some worship attendance statistics. As you can see, our average Sunday attendance has grown. That is 8 o'clock and 10:30 combined, divided by 52, right? So you look over the course of the whole year, divide by 52. It's not, I mean, we're not like totally like captured by these numbers, but I think they just kind of help reflect where we are and what else is going on, knowing full well that there are always Sundays like this, which are really terribly attended, and they just get worked into the ASA as well. Any thoughts, questions? Can you all see that? It's also in your annual report.
And the diocese cares.
Yeah, they do. They look. Our bishops always look at that just because they're kind of curious. There is a part of our budget that's called the diocesan assessment, how much money we send to the diocese. That is based off a percentage of our annual operating revenue. So this is part of it. As our operating revenue continues to grow, so does our assessment to the Diocese of Texas. Chase asked that in a finance committee. I was like, well, this is just like the cost of it. You know, I call it our franchise fee, right? And here is our average Sunday attendance. So I just wanted to add in that 2019 number because that sort of shows what it was before the pandemic, right? Any questions on the year that's passed? Let's look at the year that's ahead. I've always been really struck by something that Bishop Payne said. Trinity Church will need to decide, are you a museum that was once a church or a church with a historic building? I think that's a really pressing question for this congregation. And I think that's going to be something that we are always balancing, because we know there are people from across the Episcopal Church who come here to visit, to take a tour of the building. This was so interesting. Just after Christmas, I gave a tour to the great-grandson of our fourth rector, the Reverend Charles Aves. His great-grandson was a Vestry member of Trinity Church, Wall Street, and he was in Galveston to visit some of his old family haunts and wanted to come see Trinity Church. He was very impressed by all of our building restoration, but I think he was most impressed that this was still an active, thriving congregation. And I think that's something that we all need to keep in mind as the year goes ahead. There are lots of opportunities for engagement with that. Of course, we have our Soul of an Artist series. This is Dixie Messner, who has a studio, an art gallery downtown. She will be presenting later this year. We have our Lent, our 40 days of prayer coming up. There's Bob Hearn on Ash Wednesday. Thank you, Bob, for being there for all of our Ash Wednesday services. We've got our youth confirmation class. The bishop who will be here for youth confirmations, it won't be until February 2027. So we've got some time to work on this. This is where I want to shout out to Mark Fallow in the back. Mark, our head of school here at Trinity School. Everyone wave to Mark. Hey, Mark. Yeah. Mark's been really great as we see the Trinity Church and Trinity School, some of those kids start, the blending, which is so wonderful. So to have kids who are Trinity Church kids that are both active and involved in public schools and active and involved here at Trinity School as well. I think that's a really good sign of who we are for this community. Then we also have coming up this year a pilgrimage. If anyone is interested in taking a pilgrimage to Southern England, an email went out about that. Please express your interest. This should be really neat. Some great opportunities, not only to visit some old churches, but to be with one another in fellowship. And of course, as we talked about, a lot of our outreach stuff continues, and not just outreach funding, but outreach projects as well. So if you're interested in any of that, Tammy Fountain, everyone wave at Tammy. Tammy is the chair of our outreach committee. Thank you, Tammy. One of the big things for 2026 is that I will be taking sabbatical. Every 7 years in the Episcopal Church, clergy are entitled to receive a sabbatical. That is 3 months away from regular work for study, rest, and reconnection with family. It's hard to believe that has already come for me. I took a sabbatical in 2019, and it's time for me to go away and take that time again. I recognize what a huge privilege that is to be given that, and so I take it with so much gratitude and grace for that time away. This is part of the gift that Chase will be giving our congregation, is consistent clerical leadership during that time. So let's kind of talk through a little bit of what that means. Hold on. We will come back to that. In 2019, I just have to show you all this picture. In 2019, my first Sunday off, I came to Trinity Church to worship. So this is us in the pews at Trinity in June of 2019. We sat behind Margie France. I remember that because then she took us on a tour of the crypt to see Benjamin Eaton. Maggie and I also, we went to the British Open in Northern Ireland, and yes, I grew a mustache because I had some time off. It was fantastic. Yeah, it's not much. And then I got to spend a lot of time with my family. This is my aunt and uncle who live in Los Angeles, and that's a lot of what we plan on doing this year as well. So during the month of May, I'm going to be focused on this man who was the 5th Bishop of Texas, Bishop J. Milton Richardson. I am writing my thesis at Sewanee on his ministry and his work here in the Diocese of Texas. He was diocesan bishop from 1965 to 1980, a time of great cultural upheaval, right? And I'm really drawn to his care for the institution of the Diocese of Texas and how it grew even during such a time of cultural division. So his papers are all at the University of Houston, so I'll be spending some time up there in my happy place, the archives, digging through manuscripts. In June, I will be spending most of my time at Sewanee at the School of Theology. This is my last summer of coursework for my Master's of Sacred Theology. Think of this as priest summer camp, right? I live in the undergraduate dorm with a bunch of other clergy, and we spend our time studying. And yes, there are times for hijinks and fun and all of that. And then in July, I'll be spending a lot of time with family. Some FAQs about sabbatical. Why are you doing this? I think it's an obvious question. To finish my thesis, to spend time with my family, and to take a bit of time of rest. Really grateful again to receive all of that. Who will be in charge? Chase will be our clergy leader, and of course, Olivia as our senior warden. They will be here consistently as we go throughout 2026. What happens if something big happens? Chase and Olivia will call me, right? This is as it would be if I was on vacation or anything. They will be in touch. And of course, as I'm sometimes on vacation, sometimes I'm here in Galveston, sometimes I'm not, right? And that just happens regardless of sabbatical or not. What will happen with the church? Like normal stuff, right? We'll have worship services. Trinity School will have their commencement. There'll be Vacation Bible School. It will just be all of the sort of normal stuff. This I cannot impress upon y'all enough. It will just be church. As I mentioned in my sermon, I will continue to give my pledge to Trinity Church, right? Just because I'm not here doesn't mean I won't be sending in my pledge. As I joke, the robots send it in anyway, so the robots will keep sending it in. And one of the things that we did during my last sabbatical is that we still went to church. We would visit other Episcopal churches and sit in the pews. And it's really wonderful for me to have that opportunity to sit in the pew with my family and to pray with them. It's such a gift because I don't go to church because I'm a professional Christian. I go to church because I wish to render thanks to the Lord God. And that's part of my own service. Yeah, John.
Quick question. When you're on sabbatical vacation, visiting other churches, do you wear your collar?
No, I don't. Most people know who I am anyway. Yeah. I did go, oh my gosh, in 2019, we went to the cathedral. We went there a few Sundays, and they had this big thing where they were like raising money for something. And there's a picture on the front page of the Houston Chronicle of me and Lydia and Maggie, like putting coins in something. And it was like, oh my gosh, like here I am on sabbatical, and there's my picture with at Christ Church Cathedral. And I was wearing a tie. So a few things looking ahead though about the building. Of course, we will be hopefully getting our windows back in, the remaining windows back in before Easter. You all know that was not an easy process either. It's not like, oh, the windows are back in. It takes a long time, right? There's scaffolding up. They have to move it. There's a lot of dust everywhere. So that I would imagine will take some time. We're also starting to get some of the cost estimates on the redoing of the plaster and the continuing some of our roof leaks. This is just a long-term maintenance project, essentially. And remember that we all want to fix the walls, but first we've got to tackle the windows, right? Because that's a lot of where the moisture is coming in. So we've got to do one before we do the other. The other thing here is a lighting plan. We do have some hopes for some additional lighting for the church. We know it's kind of gloomy in there, especially with the windows being out. So we've got some initial design plans for some windows or for some lights You can kind of see there, a lot of it is spotlights and whatnot on various places, just to sort of dispel that gloominess and have a little bit more light in there. The final thing, which is a big question mark, I've put a picture here of our ceiling, because our ceiling is like a Golden Corral buffet for termites, right? There's a problem. We know that there is some termite damage in the church ceiling. If you look at the altar and look straight up, you can start to see some termite trails. We don't really know how extensive all of this damage is, if it's cosmetic or if it's structural. We don't know exactly where it all goes. Know that we do have monthly termite treatments. We've done a major termite killing program recently in which they, of course, injected all of the termite treatments into the soil around the church. But you all know, as your experience in the renovations of this building, there are termites, right? This is Galveston. And so we don't exactly know the full extent of that, but we are working with our architect and our contractors to figure that out so that we can address those issues and see how extensive they are as we move forward with that. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Olivia has been working on this, so has Laura and John Ferguson, the chair of our building committee. I wish I had better news on that, but that's it. Any questions about that part of it? Yeah, Bill.
Just about the windows, are you going to be doing them throughout the year, or you got a massive crew that comes in and restores those windows?
As I understand it, as they left in one big cargo van, they come back in one big cargo van. But it takes them a while to put them back in, because also they have to rebuild all of the frames for each window. And then, of course, then there's the second layer to that when they add the protective glass on the outside, right? So it's going to take a while. So when we see them all show back up, don't get excited like they're all going to be in next Sunday, right? It's going to take a while for them to do all of that. Yeah, some time, yeah. A timeline on the plaster? At this point, no. Part of it is we've got to discern the best way, looking at the money that we have, that you all have raised, how to best address all of these issues that we're facing. So that's kind of where we are right now. We're going to finish the windows. Then we will see, as we look at all the issues in front of us, the termites, the plaster, and the lighting, what exactly we are going to accomplish next. So again, as we think of this as a long-term maintenance project, that's essentially the next step. Because so much of this also requires scaffolding. And so questions of, we want to double up on scaffolding. How do we like want to stop using the church for a time? Or do we do, like y'all have done before, everyone worship on one half of the church one Sunday, and then the next half of the church another Sunday? There are still a lot of question marks in front of us. And so I'm just going to, I have no, as Bill said, I can't predict the future. I have no crystal ball. Olivia, do you have any comments on that? Yeah. We're working on it. Yeah.
As far as the termite,
Yeah.
is there a possibility that like there's serious structural damage, or is it kind of like, well, we might have, we know, but we just kind of don't know right now?
We don't know. Yeah. I wish I knew. Yeah. Keeps me up at night. In my search committee interview to come to Trinity, thank you, Tammy, I was there and I said something like, well, what should I be worried about if I'm... What keeps you up at night? And Tammy said, termites. And now here we are. Yeah. All I can say is that we are on top of it. We've paid for Budco to come out and kill, to do treatments. We have all of the continual termite coverage. But as I said, it's a Golden Corral buffet for termites up there. And we're not quite sure if they're subterranean. We don't know if they're the flying kind. It's a lot. This is the joy and the hardship of worshiping in a historic building. Yeah. So, sorry to inject so much worry into the system, but that's essentially, we want to be honest with y'all. That's where we are. Any other questions, comments? Yeah, thanks, Cheryl. Yeah. So I'll just say, I continue to be so honored to serve as the 12th rector of this parish. It really is a blessing. I can't tell you how many times Maggie and I will be in a conversation and just say how grateful we are to be here in this community, in this church, in this school. It really is a blessing to us. I grow into that more and more each year. Especially as I continue to worship in such a wonderful old place with such incredible, faithful people. It really is a gift, and that's all I can say. Me taking a sabbatical is not me trying to get out or anything like that. I like to think of it as a time to renew my own ministry. Along those lines, it's such a gift to work alongside Chase here. And our ministry, I think, is a gift to each other. And I know that my ministry has been sharpened because of him as well, as he asks really good questions and makes me sort of wonder about the decisions I make. That's a real gift. If there's nothing else, yeah.
Hey, can't go unsaid. You are a blessing.
Yes, Sally.
I would just like to say it is such a blessing as a church member to feel so secure about our leadership and about where we're going and what you've been able to do for us. We just thank you.
Yeah, it's fun. Yo, it's great here. No, it's great. It's fantastic. Yeah, right. Y'all also know, did y'all know this? That Bishop Doyle has jokingly named me the Admiral of the Diocese of Texas Naval Fleet. This is hilarious. And so it's this running joke with the bishop. And now, as part of it, I have offered free parking to all of my lieutenants, who are the other clergy in the Diocese of Texas. And I say that jokingly because people across this diocese really do know who you are, right? And they have looked to Trinity Church since 1841, which is a huge gift. And that means that you all have been leaders in the Episcopal Church for a long time. Yeah, Bruce.
I think we should claim the USS Texas as part of
as part of our fleet. Yeah. And John, last question, comment. Yeah, coupons for free rides on the ferry. Gotcha. Okay. With that, please know that other reports are printed in your annual report, and we will adjourn and head to church. God bless.